Welcome to Movie Time in 5. My name is Brian Hayes, and each week I'll provide an almost 5-minute spoiler-free look at a horror or sci-fi movie recently released in theaters, on iTunes, or a popular streaming service such as Netflix or Amazon Prime. This week's episode, I will be reviewing Better Watch Out, a horror movie with a holiday twist released the first week in October 2017 in limited theaters, along with being available to buy for $10 or rent for $6 on iTunes, or you can purchase on Amazon at a slightly higher price at the time of this recording. So let's dive into Better Watch Out. In the long, sordid history of the Christmas horror subgenre, there's never been a movie quite like I experienced with Better Watch Out. Watching the trailers for this movie, it gives you an idea of the flavor of the movie, but the twists and turns that I experienced are deliciously delightful. The movie stars a cast of several Australian actors who credibly evoke upper middle class America. The three main actors in this movie are Olivia DeJonge, playing Ashley, the teenage babysitter, Levi Miller, who plays the 12-year-old Luke, and his nerdy friend Garrett, played by Ed Oxenbould. The first act of the movie revolves around the young Luke plotting and planning how he can attract the attention of the 5-year-older babysitter Ashley, as he has had a crush on her for many years, but she has had no idea and is oblivious to this attraction. He enlists the help of his buddy Garrett to hatch methods and means to put his plan into motion. During the second act, as Luke's parents depart for a dinner party, the movie flowers into what the trailer promised, which is a horror-themed home invasion classic, as many guests begin to enter the picture, but the twists and turns you don't see coming early evolve as the movie progresses, leading into the third act, which revolves around the terminus of all three main characters. The pacing and build-up to the climax in Act 3 is earned over the second act of the movie. No shortcuts are taken. It's brilliant. So, what does this movie do well? Well, first, the three central young actors in this movie are outstanding. The interactions between them are believable during times of humor, banter, and during the psychopathy and darkness that this movie embraces as it advances into the climax in Act 3. The atmosphere and cinematography are spot on and brilliant. It calls back to other Christmas classics such as Home Alone and The Christmas Story, along with subtle winks to The Dark Knight and Charlie's Angels are also devilishly charming. The twists and turns in this movie are executed brilliantly and keep you engaged throughout. The running time is just over an hour and a half, and not once did I look down at my watch to check the time. Finally, one thing that almost always defines an extremely brilliant movie, either as a classic or dreadful, is its unique. This movie is brilliantly unique. So, is there anything the movie struggles with? Well, the only negative I would have for this movie is there is some level of disbelief that you have to accept in regards to the adults in the movie not noticing tendencies or behaviors of the children that do come into fruition later on in Act 2 and Act 3. But outside of that, I have no qualms or quandaries with this movie. So, where would I give this movie in regards to a score? I would give Better Watch Out a solid 9 out of 10. This movie, if you love twists and turns, a devilish spin on the Home Alone concept, and don't mind a little gore in your stocking for an early Christmas treat, I highly, highly recommend at least renting this flick. For a few dollars extra, buying it may be in order, because I believe it justifies repeated viewing in years to come and could be a cult classic, much like I see the Trick or Treat anthology is today. So I hope you've enjoyed this Movie Time in 5. You can find me on Twitter at BrianHayes73. And until next time, do your heart some good and get scared.